Hey there, Nicole Campbell with Devarash Real Estate in Hampton Roads, Virginia, and I consider myself a matchmaker between office tenants and office landlords. And when I represent office tenants, I want to make their lives as easy and painless as possible when it comes to the lease transaction. So I understand, tenants, that you don't do this for a living every day. You have your business over here that's making you money, and I will focus on helping you with the office leasing. So I want to talk to tenants today about the number one thing that they need to have a handle on before they start looking for office space, and that is their budget. Seems self-explanatory, but I do get a lot of phone calls from people who aren't sure how much they can spend every month. So what I need you to do is look at your business and how it operates now, what you're paying now, what your expenses are. And maybe you're in executive office suites or just another office that's smaller or larger, and you're trying to figure out where to go from there. Maybe you're working from home and the expenses that you have today would be very different than what they would be in the future. So things like to consider, if you're working from home and you want to move to a more central location, and that means for you commuting 20 minutes every day to and from. What does that look like? How much will that cost you? Are you going to be adding employees? What does that payroll look like? The insurance amount that you'll have to carry based on moving into an office space. So look at your now numbers and then look at your future numbers. And then I also want you to consider the fact that in most office leases, there will be an escalation every year. So maybe the rate that you're comfortable with today, knowing that it's probably going to escalate every year by at least 2 or 3%, and factoring that in as well. And if you decide that you have a range that you're comfortable with, that you can afford after you've figured out your income and expenses, and if you say, okay, I can afford between $1,500 and $2,000 a month, that's fine. It gives us a good starting point. But having a range of, okay, I can afford between $2,000 and $7,000 a month, it's a little too broad. So we want, again, to maximize your time. We don't want to spend a lot of time on properties that really are not going to work for you. So that's why you need to narrow down, figure out what range that you feel comfortable with, what your risk tolerance is, and maybe it's even knowing that, okay, well, if you spend a certain amount of money on this office space, that it will generate more income for you because of your location, or because of now you can add more employees who they bring in more money for you. So there's a lot that goes into it, and each business is different, and it's going to save you time in the end if you get your numbers together, work with your accountant, your insurance agent, all these people who, if you have a business partner, absolutely work with them and find out what your budget is and what makes sense for you. And then we can start honing in on office spaces that will be good for you based on that budget number. Again, my name is Nicole Campbell with Devarash Real Estate, and I'm on the south side of Hampton Roads, Virginia. If you are a tenant and you felt like this was helpful, that's great, fantastic. And if you think it's going to be helpful for your network, feel free to pass it on. If we're not already connected on LinkedIn, do that today, and I'd love to connect with you. Have a good one.